Hi, my name is Joanne Kuo, and I'm here to talk to you about culture and economy of Singapore. Quite naturally, I am born Singaporean, and I have moved to the States about 10 years ago. I teach psychology in a local community college in Moore County, and I'm actually a graduate of UNC at Pembroke with a master's degree in psychology and counseling. Um, what does culture do to a group of people? Ask a psychology person. They will find many answers to that, but let's talk about what I know and not what I think. First of all, where is Singapore? A lot of my psychology class students may have heard of Singapore but don't even know where it is. It is a little dot on the world map, and it's at the tip of the peninsula of Malaysia, and that's within Southeast Asia. On the slide here, you see that little dot here actually is a small island, and from east to west you only need about 35 minutes to travel the whole length of the country using the highway, of course, driving in a car, not walking. How did Singapore come along? We speak multi-languages. Yes, I have been speaking English all my life, or from about 11 years old, and very much because of the influence of being a British colony. Sir Stamford Raffles founded the colony in 1819. You'll see a picture of his statue in the upcoming slide later on. And we stayed a colony for about 100 years. And the name Singapore actually derived from Singer, and Por means a place. Singer is a lion-looking animal, a mythical creature, not a real thing. And it was actually called the little fishing village island was known as Temasek before it was called Singapore. And for those of you in economic and finance industries will now probably say, that's why there's so many companies. They're called Temasek Holdings, Temasek Group. Temasek was the old name of Singapore. And this is not Singer, but Merlion, a new creature created as the mascot or the representative figure of Singapore. So whenever you see Merlion, you know you're looking at something that's very representative of Singapore. And it was an OC town, and this is the statue of Sir Stamford Raffles, erected right in front of the financial district called the Raffles Place. And this is a little mascot called Singer. Singapore is famous for campaigns with the government leading its people to do something, be it speak more Mandarin, do not litter, do not speak, do not chew gum. It's all campaign after campaign after campaign. And Singer was the campaign of be courteous. So we are a group of very polite people. What kind of people? We consist of Chinese, Malay, Indian, and others mainly Eurasians. I'll explain that in a little bit more. Chinese are mostly, if not all, immigrants from China. They used to be human labor that were trafficked from China by the landlords or the rich people who could buy and sell people then. Yes, it happened then too. So Chinese usually were the working class of that little fishing village or island. And the Malays are the indigenous people, the natives of that place. Indians are also immigrants, naturally from India. And the others are the Eurasians. These actually make up 4 races and 4 official races of the country. Eurasians are mainly a mixed race of Portuguese and the local natives. This is because during the 1400s, the 15th century, Portugal invaded Malayas, and Singapore was part of that region, and the Straits of Malacca, the settlement there had a lot of marriages, and the descendants of that became Eurasians. Europe and Asia, Eurasians, and that became an official race. Small portion of the population, but very important one as well. And we don't necessarily say, hey, hi, I'm Chinese, hi, I'm Eurasian within, the community when we speak to each other. We kind of know by the looks, but of course, but we all know that we are Singaporeans. Sometimes we may ask, oh, are you Malaysians? Because Malaysia is like Canada to US, so near, so close by. A lot of them work in Singapore. But we won't say, oh, are you Malaysian Chinese? We kind of know that we are one people of a country. But at the same time, we know we are different and we celebrate that difference. And how do we achieve that? It's not born in us. It's kind of it cultivated in us, and that by doing that, we started at a very young age. I remember going to school in the late 70s, early 80s. We always have friends of multi-racial or ethnic groups, and then there was always some celebrations about tell us more about your background, your culture, wear your costumes, wear your different kinds of celebratory, festive, joyous feeling to school. And that's what you see in this picture right here. Little children wearing different costumes of different ethnic groups. There's a little Korean one right here. I think maybe just for fun. I'm not sure if she's from Korean descendant, but that's not one of the official races. But we celebrate everything. As long as you are different, we celebrate the difference. This is a group of little Muslim boys. We do have Islamic schools that they have to wear the traditional Muslim attire to school. And this is a picture of Orchard Road, a very famous shopping district with all the food and shopping you can find during Christmas. And the streets are beautiful during that time. And this is a Hindu during the Thaipusam. It's a day that they parade the streets and demonstrate how they could sacrifice their physical bodies to achieve that spiritual attainment in their religion. That's Hinduism right there. And then this is Chinatown during Chinese New Year. We believe in fortune, we believe in health, we believe in luck, and these are the representatives of those beliefs. And it's crowded, of course. Singapore is crowded all the time, and especially more crowded during celebrations like that. Well, of course, when you have different people, you speak different languages. Is English my first language? No. Was Mandarin my first language? Not really. Hokkien, the third one that you see here, is a Chinese dialect. It's actually my first spoken language per se, although we don't consider it a language. It's a dialect. I then started speaking Mandarin with my parents, and then out of the 6 children they have, I was the only one who was sent to English school, and English became my first language in school. And then of course I still continue to speak Hokkien, and then I make friends with people from the different dialect groups like Cantonese and Teochew. Surprisingly, when I was doing this research myself, I was also surprised myself that Malay is actually a less spoken language than Cantonese itself, although Malay, alongside with Tamil, are the 4 languages that are officially spoken in Singapore. We'll go into the details about why we have 4 official languages later on in the second segment. And when you have people, you have languages, we have beliefs. And look at this picture right here. They are masters or leaders who are representative of the different beliefs that the society has in Singapore. We are very open, we are very accepting, and we kind of encourage the society to move along as one that is open and accepting when there are new people and new beliefs that come into the society. I think you can see here, this is Taoist, this is Buddhist, this is Judaism, this is Sikh, one of the Indian religious beliefs, and this is Islam. I believe there's Christianity there. I just can't really pinpoint which one is Christianity. Then there are also people who have no religion. A huge percentage of the Chinese are non-believers, meaning they don't believe that they belong to any designated religion. Among the Malays, the native Malays, almost 100% of them are Muslims. And then among the Indians, they have different kinds of beliefs then. Okay. It's a huge diversity in Singapore, and we embrace that. And I really believe that it is why it is such a successful modern society in the world. And this will conclude our first segment on the topic of culture and economy in Singapore. In the next segment, I'll talk about the education system and how Singapore has become so successful in the world today. Thank you.